Traders are reacting to knee-jerk reactions in the market as they watch the situation between Russia and the Ukraine. Let's bring in pro trader Michele Schneider of the MarketGauge Group. Michele, thanks for coming on the line for us today to talk about how you brace for war. You've talked about this before, but what can you tell us now as that situation intensifies?
Well, first of all, I really was prepared coming into the scenario that we have now. And we've talked about it on your show, to buy commodities, to be long gold and silver and grains, oil, energy. And so we've actually taken profits in all those areas now. And I'm not necessarily looking to add to those. But like you say, I'm more trying to find what are the signs of when it's safe to go into some equities. And I think you just sort of have to choose your groups carefully, number one. And number two is I think if you follow things like junk bonds, which we've also talked about before, which is either HYG or JNK, depending on which instrument you prefer, they are still very much telling the risk-off story. So I'd like to see some kind of stabilization with the high yield, high debt bonds, and number one. And then in terms of the actual indices, we're range bound. We've talked about that. So if let's say the Russell 2000 in particular can hold around this 200 level and start to work its way back up to 205, 206, where it tried last week, then I think you're going to have some good value stocks to look at. And we're still really looking at these non-cyclicals because of the inflation narrative.
What's your trade of the day, Michele?
Well, right now, I would be very cautious all around. I have some things I'm looking at if the market stabilizes that I would like to go into, and they're all in different areas. If we were looking at something like cannabis, the MSOS ETF, which is the U.S. ETF for cannabis, looks like it's trying to bottom out. If you're looking at tech, I really like Zscaler, also looking like it's trying to bottom out. And if you want to go more into the back to normal type of situation, look at something like Cheesecake Factory, the restaurants, the airlines, they're trying to hold. So that's probably going to be the areas. But in terms of a specific pick right now, I think that if you're not already positioned in commodities, this is a good time to wait and see how things play out with the equities and if the Russia-Ukraine calms down.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Ange.
Go to businessfirstam.com for where to see our show on TV.